Hello, it's me, NCR, again, here at the Hillville Cemetery with a cemetery reflection. I normally start recording when I'm outside my vehicle, but I decided just to start inside my vehicle. So I'm so excited. Uh, this is Friday. It's the end of the first week in June, and yeah, I'm so excited. This week was a different week from my other weeks, and I mean that's what last week I published a new blog post on my blog every week. Um, and I was saying how my biggest prayer for this summer is that I want this summer to be a productive one for me. And I was saying how I do not want, and last week was productive, and this week I feel was productive, and they were two very different weeks, and I don't want, all my weeks to be the same. Yes, productive, but not every week the same week, like week after week, the same thing. Every week I'm accomplishing different things, and I'm doing different things. And I'm so excited. This is an awesome week. Like I said, it was a little bit different. Because I came here on Monday, which was June 1st, and I was at the cemetery for a while. But I didn't record anything on Monday, and that's the thing. But I did start. I think I was also here on Sunday, and at the cemetery, and I started writing a blog post series. I didn't publish any of the blog posts in that series yet, but I will publish one today. But the productive series. So I'm going to be talking about productivity and what it is and how to be productive and just all about the productive, I don't know, we'll just be talking about that I will be talking about that for the next few weeks. And I guess, honestly, when I first started that idea, I was thinking about just publishing it as a blog post series just on my blog. But I mean, rightfully, that series kind of did start at the cemetery because that's where I was at when I first started thinking about, being productive, writing. Well, no, I don't know. Coming into the cemetery has really affected me a lot because, that was the first, back in May, beginning of May, I started coming to a cemetery, and it's really affecting me. It maybe has more effect on me than I realize it does. But because I think of me coming to the cemetery, that's my prayer for this summer, that it will be a productive one. Because I could just laze around at home, and not get up and go out and do something like come to a cemetery. And I could, I could choose to not be productive, but I am choosing to be productive. But by coming to a cemetery, and I think by coming to a cemetery, it's inspiring me to be even more productive. And so, I'm here at the cemetery in the first week. So, I didn't, that's the thing, this week, even though this is a productive week, I feel like I didn't start this week off, really doing anything. Like I said, I did not record any cemetery reflection on Monday. I didn't publish any blog posts on Monday. And normally on Wednesday, we do, a show titled another episode of My Sister Named Faith, but we did not do that on Wednesday this week. Instead, actually, on Wednesday, I was reading a book, just did a novel, just an entertaining book, kind of. I mean, it was a Christian one, and I was reading, and so I was kind of taking it easy, kind of taking it slow, the first few days this week. But yeah, it's going to kind of slow down a little bit. But yeah, my mind has been working hard. I started working on updating a book I wrote a couple years ago titled Milking Devotional, and I did not like the title Milking Devotional. I don't know what kind of gave me the idea to name it Milking Devotional, whatever. I came up with a better title for it, Milking Inspiration, or something like that, something similar to that title, Milking Inspiration. And I'm working on that this summer, and so it's kind of sunny here, so I'm kind of yeah. But okay, so yeah, I'm working on all those things, and I honestly, I don't want to mix what I'm doing, books I'm working on and things I'm writing, with cemetery reflections. I want cemetery reflections to be its own unique thing, but I can't, my mind is just, those are things I'm working on. I can't keep them separate. It's all things I'm working on. And another thing I was thinking about, I started recording this in the vehicle, but before I started recording, I was walking around the cemetery here thinking of different things. And so, I was thinking about, just imagine if Jesus was around today, and he was buried in a grave today. How much different would it be back then? Because back then, they were buried in tombs or whatever, and his disciples, got to go to the tomb, and they got to see that, he wasn't there. Today I was thinking, if Jesus was buried in this cemetery today, he'd be buried beneath dirt, and you wouldn't be able to know whether or not he's there, and that's the thing, because you look in the cemetery, and I mean, the truth of the matter is, no one's there anyways, because they're, as soon as you die, their people's bodies are buried here, but that's not where they actually are. And I think I will do a future episode talking about where people go after they die and whatnot. But I was just thinking, if Jesus was buried in this cemetery today, oh, well, not today. I mean, if he was around today, if he was killed, and buried, and then if people were put around the cemetery to guard it, and after 3 days, how would his rising look? Would all the dirt come out and then, be an empty coffin, or would the dirt remain there, like he would be risen and gone and not in it, not in it. And so it would look like he's still there, because the dirt's still there, kind of, but he's not in the coffin anymore, because he could go through it. I don't know, but maybe all the dirt would be like blown out of the the hole he was buried in or whatever, and when he's rising, and like just poof, who knows? But one thing I do know is that we don't, like, we've never got to personally see and feel and touch the physical, Jesus when he was on this earth. His disciples, like Peter and John, I think, they ran into the tomb and they got to see, oh, he wasn't there. He's gone. He's risen. And then Thomas, a few days later, got to feel and to touch Jesus. And, believing they have seen. But there's a verse in the Bible that says, blessed are those who have not believed and yet have seen. So we've never... But I don't like to say we've never got to see Jesus personally, because I have written a couple books about seeing God everywhere. And so, but yeah, we can, but we don't get to, physically see him and touch his physical body and all that. But that's where faith comes in. Okay. I'm doing this show titled My Sister Named Faith. I'm doing it with my brothers and sisters because we have a cute little sister named Faith and we just want to talk about faith. And so I'm doing that. And, well, we didn't do an episode of that this week, but I was just thinking how, we need faith. We need to place our faith in God. I don't know. To hear me talk more about faith, definitely tune into that show. But this is Cemetery Reflections, so I'm not going to talk about faith a whole lot here in this episode of Cemetery Reflections. I was going to talk about being productive, and so I'm here at the cemetery. I'm recording this. So as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to have to, work with it a little bit and then get it uploaded to YouTube, and then I'm going to publish a blog post on my blog titled The Productive Second. And so, because like I said earlier in this episode, I'm starting this series called the Productive Series. And so, every week, I don't know if every week or maybe every other week I'll talk about, but the first one here is the productive second, then I'll talk about the productive minute, the productive hour, the productive day, the productive week, the productive month, the productive year, and the productive life, and the productive summer, and just the productive lifestyle, and just I'm just going to be spreading it out and just talking about being productive over a long period of time here, all summer. That'll be kind of, but I don't want to talk about that every episode of Cemetery Reflections, so that's why maybe every other episode, because I definitely want to do an episode at least of Cemetery Reflections every week, and I don't know which days I'll be doing that, whether I'll come to the cemetery Monday and Friday. I usually come to the cemetery Monday and Friday, so I don't know if I'll do an episode of Cemetery Reflections every Friday, or Friday and Monday, or, whatever, but, okay, whatever. Today I'm talking about the productive second. So when I first got the idea for this, this series on productivity and talking about productivity, I thought I would start talking about, the productive hour and how an hour, because you can do so much more in an hour than you can in a second, but I just, so you can't do much in a second, but you can start things in 1 second that continue into other seconds. You can start things in 1 second that continue into other seconds. And so you want to make sure you're doing good things with your seconds. Starting things and thinking right things, with your seconds, and not, what does wasting time look like? What does being productive look like? And I don't want to repeat myself a whole lot throughout this series, but since it's just the first one on productivity, I think I should kind of tell you what I think being productive means and what it looks like. And I think being productive looks like accomplishing more than just the day-to-day activities every day. And I'll be talking more about that, later when I talk about the productive day. And being productive looks like accomplishing what you are put on this earth to do. And this video is 10 minutes long here. This episode of Cemetery Reflections is 10 minutes long about. I think I should just quit talking. I hope you enjoy my rambling. I really like to share content that is, encouraging and inspiring, and and I hope I did that today. I hope I didn't ramble on too much about this and that and this and that and so this is Cemetery Reflections, and I hope it encourages you to live a productive life. Stay tuned for more to come. That's it.